pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please take the roll. Austriaco? Bessler? Here. Collins? Here. Coyle? Here. Lee?
Here.
Sullivan? Owen?
Here. Okay, we will start tonight with 207's Best for Improved Performance. And we're starting with Maine South. Ben?
Yep. Tonight we'd like to honor Yesenia Martinez from Maine South for improved performance. So Yesenia, you can come up right up here. That'd be great. So when we were talking and I had a chance to get to know you better after your nomination, one of the things that she discussed was an internship experience she had that pretty much ignited what she wants to do with the rest of her career. She wants to be a pediatric nurse. So she had a chance because of some of the opportunities that we have here in our district to get some of those experiences. And she also said that her parents are a major source of inspiration and motivation, in particular her mother. Just the ability that you have to, I think, help inspire her. She was really adamant about that when I was speaking to her, so she loved that. She has been a member of our photo club. She volunteers at our church with 7 and 8-year-olds after school. And she's kind of taken that experience to work with children long term. So when she started high school, she was in mostly transitional classes. And this year as a senior, we've never really seen this before, and it's just, I think, shows how awesome you are. You're taking 4 AP and dual credit classes, so congratulations, that's amazing. You had some people saying some amazing things about you. So this is from Melissa Damewood, your healthcare careers and medical terminology teacher. I'm sure a class that you'll use quite regularly. Yesenia is walking sunshine. She always brings joy and enthusiasm into the world. I've had the pleasure of working with Yesenia on her goal to become a nurse, and she has never wavered in her determination to achieve her career goals. She has been faced with disappointment of not being selected for opportunities at the hospital, but has never stopped her from moving forward and continuing to achieve her goal. I am proud of Yesenia and how hard she has worked at creating a successful life for herself. I feel confident that she will continue on her career journey and be a talented nurse. Mike McGreevy, her world cultures teacher and current dean, and the person who, when I put the all call out, said, "Oh my gosh, I have the person for you," said that you're an outstanding individual. He's had the pleasure of serving as your freshman year world cultures teacher and now your dean. He said, "I encourage Yesenia to strive for classes at a level up for her exemplary academic performance in class. Yesenia has a genuine enthusiasm for learning simply for the sake of knowledge. She is one who reminds a person why they entered the discipline of education. Yesenia's personality is such that her peers and my colleagues speak highly of her. She is one who is full of goodness and will give her best in any situation." Trish Conlon, your counselor, said her freshman year she went into transitional classes for English, math and science, where there's extra support, and now as a senior she is in 3 AP classes, one being AP Biology, which is one of her hardest classes in the entire district. I have never seen this in 19 years as a position of a counselor. Kevin Stock, Yesenia's advanced comp teacher, said, when I have seen her hand raised, I look forward to hearing from her because I know she will add to the class discussion. Her writing demonstrates her maturity, reflects her strong intellect, and exhibits a stylistic technique not often found in high school or college students for that matter. Yesenia has the mind of a philosopher. She thoroughly enjoys reading literature and debating ideas. I am proud of her progress and maturity as an individual. Yesenia's attitude toward her fellow students also reflects her heartfelt compassion for others. This openness to all people was also evident in our class workshops on one another's writing. Her intellect and compassion will be missed at Maine South High School, but I have no doubt that she will continue to benefit those who work in the future. Yesenia is the total package of an ideal student: intelligent, compassionate, thoughtful, competitive, and engaged with both classes and classmates. I definitely, as somebody who has a 9-month-old daughter and has a special place in my heart for babies, knowing all of the experiences that we've had recently with nurses, I just think that it's amazing that you want to go help families at that point in their life and help children at that point in their life too. So You're an amazing person. You've done amazing things at Maine South. Congratulations on this honor. And why don't you tell us who's here with you this evening?
My mom, Maria Morales, and my dad, Joel Martinez.
All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And where are you going to school?
I'm trying to go to University of Massachusetts in Boston.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations, outstanding.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move along to Maine East. Mike?
I think our student is still in transit, so if we can go to West.
Okay, Marina, we'll go to Maine West.
We are ready. I'd like to introduce Daniel Bolhar as our Maine West student. If you could stand and move right around the corner there, Daniel, so we could all see you. Thank you. I was so pleased when Daniel was nominated. I don't know if you know this, but you were the first student I met at Maine West. It made yes, impression on me. And quite a celebrity, I thought at first, because everyone in the main office knew you by name. And I recognized immediately that you were interested in helping Miss Ward and I assimilate as warriors. That was very important to you, that we were successful, and I appreciated that. I also enjoyed your inquisitive nature, your sense of humor, and your love of sports. I soon learned that Daniel can create a sports analogy for any situation. In fact, when I first congratulated him for the honor this evening, Daniel asked if it was like retiring your jersey. And I said, well, it's big, but perhaps not that big. I mean, you have plenty of games ahead of you, right? Then the second question he asked is, will the commissioner be there? And I said, oh, certainly. That's Dr. Wallace. I guess he is the commissioner this evening. The first time you meet Daniel, you'll know he's in charge of his life. And if you ask him a question, he will see it through the lens of sports first. Then he will want to know why you're asking the question, and he will certainly have an answer ready. Daniel is adept at navigating the curricular and extracurricular aspects of school, but he was not always able to do so as independently as he does today. Daniel's journey, the challenges he has overcome, and his independence from the need for teacher assistance in his classes have led to his nomination as Maine West 207's Best for Improved Performance. Daniel has made tremendous progress over the past 4 years. He started his high school career with teacher assistance in several classes and a comprehensive intervention plan. His goal was to move toward minimal supports and no teacher assistance by his senior year. When I asked him to describe the type of supports the teaching assistants provided, Daniel described them as similar to referees. You know, Dr. Scott, he said, they call me out on any rule violation I have. Do you remember that? Like asking too many questions or not participating in a group. To achieve his goal of no teaching assistance, Daniel recognized, I have to put that TA in my head, and that he did. In his high school journey, Daniel consistently demonstrates unwavering tenacity and a willingness to accept constructive criticism. I think that's hard for all of us. Daniel's positive attitude and belief in himself and his abilities, along with his take charge approach to life, are truly inspirational. Daniel now partners with staff to identify areas of challenge which sometimes get in his way, and he learns to focus on correcting the problem or improving his skills. He's learned to request that feedback regularly and self-monitor any learning or social challenges he faces. After years of hard work, Daniel's supports are now minimal. He has become an informed advocate for his learning style and his needs. It's important to note that Daniel's course load is quite rigorous as well. This year alone, he's taking AP Government, AP Chemistry, Calculus, and Latino American Literature. He loves AP Chem, but he quickly also identifies U.S. history as one of his favorite classes. And Daniel now successfully self-monitors his progress. He's proactively initiating and running his beginning of the year meetings with his teachers. He is the one now to describe his needs and supports. He continues to accept constructive feedback and develops his own action plans. He handles any issues with minimal coaching. He's made notable improvements in the following areas since he entered Maine West: social communication,
maintaining boundaries, working in small groups, staying on topic in class discussions, ignoring any distractions, and considering the perspective of others. In addition to his strong academic focus, Daniel's also a member of the boys tennis team, and he's on the swim team at Maine West. His jersey is 42, in case we're interested in his attire. Daniel's introduction to calculus teacher, Ms. Michael, states, Daniel is very conscientious. He has overcome many obstacles to achieve at a very high level. His choir teacher, Mr. Schiffer, adds, Dan has been a great addition to choir the past 2 years. He always asks insightful questions about music theory and does a phenomenal job of relating the class music theory concepts to the songs we are singing. Mr. Schiffer provides an example of this. After teaching about intervals in music, he says, Dan would often approach me after class remarking, I love the perfect fourth. You guys probably understand this. or our part has a minor third in it. Mr. Schiffer genuinely appreciates Dan's sense of humor and his determination in class. Mr. Fouts, Dan's AP government teacher, writes, Dan is an integral part of the AP government class. Most impressive is that he puts the classroom community first. After one discussion, when students were sharing positive compliments with each other, Dan was the only student to extend the compliment to the entire class. We all did a good job together, he said. I don't know if you remember that moment. From Daniel's support team of professionals, Counselor Mr. Roy, School Psychologist Ms. Perry, and Dean Mr. Wolf, Dan will go forward to do great things after high school because he's both confident and humble. He is strong, and at the same time, he realizes when he has to ask for help. He's funny, kind, and conscientious. He can be blunt and direct, but he works hard to consider the perspective of others when choosing his words. Dan is the embodiment of consistent, honorable work ethic and a growth mindset. When asked what colleges Dan is interested in, he recently informed me that he was accepted at 7 of the 7 schools he applied to. I'm going to let him give you the information on where he's going at the end and what he's studying. But we're very proud to recognize him. A whole row of supporters. Can you please introduce them?
What's up? That's Mom. That's my grandma.
That's Miss Perry.
Mr. Sam, what's up? I know that person's
And you should know it.
Good job.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you that. Yes. Where are you going to go to college and what are you going to study?
I'm very interested in Marquette University.
Okay. And what were some of the others you applied to?
ASU, Bradley, Morris, Eastern, Elmhurst, and Whitewater.
And they all gave you the thumbs up, right?
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah. What are you going to study?
Biochemistry.
Wonderful. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay, now we'll move on to names.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. I am very pleased to introduce Alexander Arriaga Ortega. Alex, why don't you come up by Miss Clark here for a minute? So, Alex, and we call this improved performance, but no surprise to Ken, I've sort of rebranded this. I'm calling it outstanding growth. When we consider Alex's 4 years at Maine East. Ms. Clark was actually the one when I put the all-call out who said, I think that he would be incredibly deserving of this. And in a nutshell, the same thing that I heard sort of echoed time and time again from a number of people who have worked with him over the last 4 years. When Alex first came to East, he was pretty quiet. Wasn't comfortable asking a lot of questions, didn't ask for help from teachers or peers, a little bit quiet about things. Jamie Kamiga has worked with him throughout the 4 years, another one of our staff members. Said, when he first came in, was easily distracted, required frequent prompting to complete tasks, just, again, kind of individual solitary. Over the last 4 years, though, he's really developed as a leader. Now he is very willing to step up without being asked to help peers in terms of work they're doing in class. Everybody describes him as being very, very dependable and very, very responsible as a student. He really works well in terms of being self-directed. And I've heard that specifically from every one of the teachers, every one of the staff members who's worked with him, particularly over these last couple of years. Jamie said he's a responsible student, can be trusted to complete any task or job students in class are given. He's been social with classmates and is always willing to help them out if needed. And Ms. Kamega just commented, she said, "This is so exciting, I can't think of a more deserving student, made my day." All of us on executive committee, when we got the names, every one of us, 8 of us, 3 deans, 4 assistant principals, myself, all of us know Alex, we know who he is, based on his work at the school. Personally, I got to know Alex over these last 2 or 3 years. We do challenges in literacy using one of the programs called My On Reader. My On Reader basically has thousands and thousands of titles, and it sort of pairs up students with very specific subject areas that they're interested in, and it also recommends books based on the ratings of books that they've already read. So we have these challenges for students to encourage them to do some reading outside class. It may be related to what they're doing in class. It may be just special interests. To date, Alex has read over 200 hours on MyOn and has participated in every school-wide challenge. He has a wide range of reading interests: animals, UFOs, graphic novels, and just about any topic that relates to what he's learning in the classroom. Our academic literacy specialist, Mecca Sadler, commented, "Whenever I see Alex, there's a smile on his face and pure excitement as he tells me all about the book he's currently reading. There have been a few times when I've lapsed on school-wide challenges, and Alex reminds me constantly that we need to get that challenge going." Somehow just a small exchange with Alex in the hall, cafeteria, or classroom is a reminder of why we do this work with and for our students. Kate Lee is our choir director now at Maine East, and about a few weeks into the year, we formed a new group called the All-In Choir, which is a choir for students of all abilities. Kate wrote this about Alex. Said, "Alex is a student who is passionate about all things Mexico, football, and EDM, electronic dance music. He started the class with virtually no singing or music background. By the end of the semester, he sang a duet in harmony with a peer in front of the whole class and a solo for the All-In Choir Jingle Bash. Seeing how happy he was singing and dancing in choir, I encouraged him to audition for the school musical, Newsies. He worked through his nerves to audition, and he was cast as a citizen of New York. Alex has brought dedication, positivity, and a smile to every rehearsal, and we're so excited to watch him continue to grow in his last semester of high school. Thank you for choosing him. I'm so excited for him and honored to be his teacher." His phys ed teacher, Kim Rewe, has had him in a dance class this last fall, and it kind of relates to the Newsies audition. Kim said, "I had the privilege of working with Alex this past semester in dance. He was rather reserved at the beginning of the semester. However, by the end, Alex was the only one was the one helping others, demonstrating his skills, especially in tap, and he offered to dance in the holiday dance showcase. Right after musical auditions, early December, he shared his fantastic news with the class. He said, "I'm dancing in the Maine East High School musical Newsies." Kim said she admires his courage to audition for the musical, and says he will undoubtedly be a faithful and dedicated cast member. And finally, I'm going to quote Susie Held, and Susie's here as well. Susie is one of our school psychologists, her second year at East. She's gotten to know Alex over these last 2 years. She said, "Getting to know and working with Alex has been such a pleasure. He's a quiet, genuinely kind young man who has grown comfortable with trying new ventures, such as advocating for himself, trying out for the school musical. Alex enjoys showing off his cooking skills and speaks highly of his parents who have supported him throughout his high school journey. More recently, Alex has been a helping hand to peers during small groups, which is something he still required prompting with only a year ago. His love for reading has helped him learn about different people, places, and topics that have helped him initiate conversations and consider the interests of others. Finally, his positive attitude, learning, and becoming comfortable with his strengths and weaknesses are strong tools he possesses that will continue to support his overall growth and continued improvements as he becomes an adult. And she says, I am so proud of him. Simply put, Alex, in these last 4 years, has grown to become a committed, respectful, hardworking student in everything he pursues at Maine East. His continued growth and enthusiasm toward learning in school is truly noteworthy. Frankly, it's what we wish for all of our kids. I'm very happy to salute Alex as one of 207's best. Congratulations. So, Alex, can you tell us who's here with you tonight? Can you introduce your family who's here with you tonight? Okay.
My mom is here, my dad is here, my sister, Joanna and Angie, they're all here.
Outstanding. Congratulations.
Maybe wants to bust a move here.
This is for you. Congratulations.
This is for you also. Congratulations. Very proud of you. Thank you. Very proud of you.
How about your plans?
Yeah. What are your plans for next year?
Plan next year? I should say I'm gonna go to college and university. Go to college university because I just want to study law. Because there's time for me to change my life. Because I want to plan to learn all the skills I really want to study.
Good job.
I want to say one thing tonight. I've been watching these for 14 years, and this is probably my favorite night.
Mine too. That too.
And for a lot of reasons. One of the things we've really aspired to do is to make school about what's possible. And we put a lot of effort into that and a lot of thought into that. I think our teaching and learning right now is as good as it's ever been. In particular, though, I want to single out some of the special ed leaders and teachers and teacher leaders in the room tonight, all of whom I know to be just superior. We've put a real emphasis in growing and improving that program. I'm really, really proud of the work that's being done, and I'm really proud of what I'm seeing here tonight. And I know it's not exclusive to these three students. That's the really cool thing, is what you're seeing tonight is probably as good as it gets, and that's wonderful. But we're really aspiring for all of our students to make their experience about what's possible for them in their lives, and that's what this work has to be about. So thank you all very much.
I want to echo that, just say congratulations to each one of you and your families. These were amazing, inspirational stories, and it's been my favorite in the 8 years that I've been on the board. So congratulations, and we wish you all the best as you move forward in life. At this point, you can go outside into the hall, not outside, but into the hall, to have photos taken with your principals. And it's a chance for you also to leave the meeting if you'd like to do so.
Señora, estas cartas que
It's not right. I just do we have any public comments? Are there any cards over there? See anything? Okay. Could I have an update from the superintendent?
I'll probably just give you my the high notes update just a minute ago, but along those same lines, the Successful Practices Network designation that we got, we actually have a site visit next week coming up, so we'll be taking one of their leaders around to all of our buildings and really working on showing the things that are going on in our buildings. And I don't think anything could say better than what we saw tonight, the work that's going on. So we're really proud of that.
Okay. Are there any updates from board members? If anyone's interested in the NSBA seminar in Philadelphia this year, please let Ginny know. I think we have a deadline, right?
Just very quickly, I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year. This year, 2019, in Asian year, is 4,352 year, which is a year of golden pig. So which
Golden
means
pig.
Golden pig, especially it's a golden pig, not a regular pig. So it comes in every 60 years or so. So it brings a lot of fortune to everyone, including all of you guys. Right?
Very nice, right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yes?
would like to just mention, and I've mentioned this before, but marijuana is going to be on the state agenda for legalization this year. And I can't emphasize enough the importance that that's going to bring to high school and high school students. The reason is that if you legalize it, you bring normalization to a community, and when kids believe that it's not going to hurt them, they will use it more. And there are a number of bills that are going to be looked at for the state Senate and House Representatives. And I really believe that we have to at least pay attention to that, because it will affect our kids. And the biggest reason is, medical marijuana is already there, and if you're working with a physician, that's a wonderful thing, and the physician can help you. But with recreational marijuana, and what the sponsors want to call adult use marijuana, I was at a seminar the other night where it said that there is a definite increase in youth use when recreational marijuana gets approved. And that's not surprising. But the thing that people don't understand is that the percentage of THC that's in the current marijuana because of plant bioengineering is up to 18 to 25%. The percent of THC that used to be in marijuana in the 70s and 60s, which everybody thinks they're approving, was at 1%. So this percentage has been shown in emergency rooms across the country that have the approved marijuana, and in studies to show induced psychosis in teenagers. So I mean, this is our population. This is who we care about. I just feel like, even though it's maybe not a curriculum issue, I really believe that we have to pay attention to this, because I don't want to see us jeopardize our kids any more than we have to. So I will continue to monitor as much as I can and attend as many state meetings as I can. But I would encourage you, if you ever speak with your state representatives, to let them know how you feel, and that you really do. It's important to spread the word that this is not the marijuana of the 1970s. That's the most important thing, because everybody thinks it is, and it's not a big deal. That's where I'll end, but I just want to put it on the radar screen again, and I will continue to do this.
Okay.
Well, Terry, I just want to quickly echo, because she brought this so very important point, and I shared this numerous times with other state reps and other surrounding members as well, that I also personally very, very concerned about the legalizing this marijuana situation. Personally, I've been working for 22 years as a not-for-profit organization in the business sector, and I could truly understand the hardship, economic hardship that we are facing as a state and city level, and we got to find a way to cultivate those taxes and so on, and this is one of the way. But the biggest concern is, like sharing with what you just said too, I'm sure, well, I mean, I know we've been hearing that many of them are in favor of passing this legalizing because it does bring a taxable income, and they're trying to use that to the education. And so it's like giving a drug to the children and earn the money and give that back to the spending the money to the education.
I don't want to get too much into the political aspect here.
Well, but basically what I'm just trying to simply saying is that having the young generation having this marijuana and after driving is, they probably never thought about the so many accidents that we are expected facing and so on. So simply as our generation, I think it is our responsibility to do our utmost best to bring these to our future generation. And this is not definitely a right way to do it. So just want to share that.
Okay.
That will be your
Thank you. Okay, any other updates from board members? Okay, we're going to go on to Buildings and Grounds Committee update. Terry?
Yes. Just 1 second. Okay. Yes, Buildings and Grounds met on December 17, 2018. Myself, Paula Bessler, and Jin Lee, other board members were there, as well as other Carla Owen, Mary Kalu, Ken Wallace, Dave Allen, and Jenny Edwards were there. We, the first issue we talked about was the construction approach to the referendum work, and the Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mary Kalu, presented the architect approach for the upcoming referendum construction work. Following a request for qualification for architects in 2016, District 207 hired 2 firms, Dewberry and White. The advantages to using multiple firms are competition and a reduced project size by splitting the schools, while the disadvantages are coordinating finishes and products used at each school, coordinating contractors and companies at each school and budget. The administration recommends using White as its architect as they have successfully completed similar projects and have conducted the preliminary work on the referendum construction. Yet the administration is in the process of collecting competitive fee information from other districts to be sure White's fees are reasonable and comparable to Capital Development Board fees. A follow-up meeting with White will be held. The administration is constructing a construction manager at risk approach where the board will award all bid packages and the contracts will be assigned to the construction manager who will be responsible for the construction, such as a general contractor. The construction manager is on site daily and oversees all aspects. Our request for proposal will have a manager at each site. The finalists will be interviewed by 2 members of the Buildings and Grounds Committee at the end of January. Finally, the RFP for financial advisors was complete. Bids are due back by January 9th, 2019, and 2 members of the Finance Committee will interview the finalists the week of January 14th. The plan is to have a team in place by February board meeting, and contracts will be awarded. Superintendent Wallace noted that the district will hire good people who will be held accountable, and Ms. Blue added that the work of the Building and Grounds Committee will be intensive over the next 4 to 5 years of construction. The next item that was discussed was the Scrimp Renewal, and Mary explained that our property liability insurance is due for renewal. Being a part of the Scrimp pool with districts 211, 214, and 225 saves the district money. An increase of 6.58% is due to Scrimp's loss funding layer that they are at risk before reinsurance for property. The first $250,000 is paid by Scrimp. Because of our loss history, an actuary recommended increasing our layer by 13%, which we have good claims here, then the layer's not spent. The overall pool reinsurance went up 5%, making our 6.58% increase less than the overall program increase of 8.84. Ms. Clue added that Scrimp has done a tremendous job. The renewal will go to the board in January as information, because unless you drop from the pool, you take the renewal. And then being no further business, we adjourn the meeting at 5:36.
Okay, thank you, Terry. Finance Committee. Linda, are you
Sure.
able
I
to
can do it.
summarize the? Sure, absolutely.
The Finance Committee was held on December 17th. We began at 5:30 p.m. Members present, Linda Coyle, Jim Lee, and Sean Sullivan. There were no public comments. We did discuss the Quest extension. This Assistant Superintendent for Business, Ms. Mary Kalu, updated the committee on upcoming food service extension. Quest is requesting a 5-year extension through 2025, which includes an additional $100,000 to be used for coffee bar at the 3 schools or other improvements, bringing their capital investment up to $300,000. Quest gives back $270,000 per year for free and reduced lunches as part of the base contract. The contract is going to be discussed for renewal at this meeting today. We also discussed the auditing extension. Elder Casella has been the district auditors for the past 3 years. The district requested a 3- and 5-year extension option. The 5-year option has a 1-year cost of $29,275 and increases to $33,600 for year 5 at an approximate 3.5 increase annually. Ms. Clue added this is very competitive and the district has been pleased with the services. We went on to discuss budget parameters. Several years ago, Ms. Clue started sharing budget parameters with the board. She stated that the projected deficit for 2019-20 is about $3 million, but will likely turn into a small surplus. State revenue is predicted to remain the same, or actually flat, and we will watch property tax refunds and the negative effects these refunds can have on the budget. District will realize retiree savings as higher paid experienced teachers retire and the replacement teachers are less expensive. The TIP payments are known, but investment returns are a little light. Dr. Wallace added that the district always outperforms the parameters. Budget parameters will be presented to the board at tonight's meeting. And this will give us time to give direction prior to approval of the tentative budget in July. We discussed procedures, and Ms. Kalu presented companion procedures to our adopted policies. The board does not adopt procedures, but can direct language in procedures. Most District 207 policies have been adopted directly from IASB's press series with some of our added language. The procedures will be available to staff in a protected area requiring login and password. And the procedures are also going to be presented as information at tonight's meeting. We adjourned the Finance Committee meeting at 6:02.
Thank you very much. Okay, education, since member Austriaco is not here. Sean, would you mind summarizing the education?
Sure.
If you want me to.
Sure.
Sean, do you want me to?
I think she's gonna take it.
Uh-oh.
She's got it.
Sean?
I wasn't prepared with my notes.
You are? No, he's
Oh, go ahead. But, okay. So the Education Committee took place on December 17th. The chair, Aurora Austriago, board member, was there, as well as myself and Linda Coyle. Other members were present, including Terry Collins, Jim Lee, Carla Owen, Ken Wallace, Sean Mesmer, and Janine Edwards. The meeting was called to order at 6:02. The first item of business was competency-based education pilot update, and I'm going to read the specifics of it because it's pretty substantive and important. Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Innovation, Mr. Sean Mesmer, who doesn't have his notes with him. Just kidding. Updated the committee. Updated the committee on the district's participation in year 1 of the competency pilot in English 2 and integrated math. This year will be used to learn more about CBE and choose the right pathway, and is headed by a steering committee along with formal monthly network calls with other participating schools, informal calls with subgroups, and professional development. Innovative Adult Learning Coordinator, Ms. Jill Giocaris and Mr. Mesmer are going to each of our schools to do small group sessions on CBE. Assistant Principal for Teaching and Learning, Ms. Melissa Dudick, is leading the math team and writing competencies for Math 1 curriculum. District 207 is the first North Cook school district in this pilot program, and on the front edge in the state of Illinois, making this move towards competency-based education, building the capacity for personalized learning and supporting students with deficiencies. This complex work is deliberate and slow to get it right with support right from the start. Superintendent Wallace added that we are reimagining learning and experiencing the chance to be bold and better for both teachers and students. So you can see why I read that in great detail, because this is very cutting edge work and something you can be very proud of what we're doing in the district. We also talked about grading changes for the 2019-2020 year. Revisions were made in 2016 to our grading scale to remove the killer zero and brought a step towards elimination of the 100-point scale. There was a proposed change of more holistic approach to student performance and better suited to the standards-based or competency-based system, which I just discussed. A 5-point grading system will be implemented that consists of the letter grades A through F, or numeric values comparable 4 to 0. This enables teachers to think of standards and defining success for students based on what students